This top 4. Here we go. Moria going first.
Off in the top 4, you get 1 Don, you do nothing, you pass over to Nami and Wim. We have 2 Don. What can we do with them? Not sure. Oh, you know what we can do? We can put 1 on Nami, because of course then when Tim attacks, you can activate the Nami skill to put your leader up to a 7k for the turn. So you need to make sure as often as possible you can have that on there. But, one little side note, here comes a Perona as predicted. No, sorry, yes. Okay, so you discard the Perona from hand and then play it from trash. There we go. Yes. But it's important because if Nami keeps trashing cards from hand to use a leader skill, and then Perona's making you trash cards from hand as well, that can add up over the course of a few turns.
Needs to decide first to trash and afterwards if he wants to counter or not. Okay.
We are trashing a red rock.
Yeah, the card that you don't really need into Moria because the Moria doesn't have really big drops. Like the biggest cost is a 6 cost Moria, so red rock not that efficient. And we decide to counter, so going to 4.
Okay, nothing there in terms of getting life away from the Nami then. And then we got Tim. A little bit of a swing, it looks like. No, we got the Nojiko coming down. That is going to bounce Perona. Nice little trick up Nami's sleeve there. Kind of card, you can't play it in many decks. You really need a Nami, but where you have a Nami as your leader, Nojiko does come in as a very fun little option.
And a lot of cards in hand for the Moria player. And we did see last game that Pudding can come up, so he's definitely thinking about that.
And
That's
then
also
he's
a play
going to know.
on 6 Dawn, Nojiko and Pudding again. That's really, really hard for him.
And, you know, when you get to this stage of the tournament, your friends, everybody else, people are going to be keying you in on what your opponent is playing. When you make top 4, there's going to be someone in your group who can tell you, oh yeah, that Nami, look out for the Pudding, look out for this, that, and the other. I played them, or somebody, my friend played them, or the person next to me played them. The scouting is, and don't get me wrong, I know it's open deck list, but you're still going to be sharing information and tendencies as much as you can. Now we get the 2k coming down onto the Nami, but it is that Kazan, and
Nojiko Pudding would be insane here for the blue-yellow Nami. Oh, that's
we started Nojiko. Kazan goes away.
And
there is the Pudding. You called it, Ruben. You said it would be insane. Well, it's certainly annoying, I'll give you that. Now we get the Nojiko bounce into Kazan. And of course, it's that combination of bounce it to hand and then make you shuffle your hand into your deck. So you don't even get to just replay it next turn if you want it.
That was a really good start for Wim here, having 2 Nojikos and a Pudding. The thing is, he's only at 3 cards. That's something. But other than that, it's getting a really, really nice start for him. Let's see. Did Pudding punish us or not? And I do think you want to counter because you don't want to give the draw to Nami.
There we are countering with the Dr. Hog back there. That is out the hand. It does seem like we've reached the end. So beginning, there we go. Beginning of our term. So what have we got? The last couple of things you've done have been frustrated by the Nami player. Double Nojiko have come down and got rid of some of your most fun characters. Pudding has put you down to a low hand, so it's just a 6k leader swing coming out from the Moria here. And it seems like we're having an Absalom coming down. This is, of course, the leader skill coming in. And if I see correctly, there's no Don underneath the Nami, so the leader skill isn't on board.
Yes.
So what are we getting back with the leader skill?
Deciding on what he wants to play or what he wants to get from his leader ability. The thing is, it's so hard to play around that Pudding because it's not that he, well, The only thing that he could have done is like countered the first 7k on turn 2, but other than that, it's so hard to play around it, especially in the early stages. He's going for Hogback.
Absolutely. Here comes the Dr. Hog back then.
No ability.
He's going to
Oh.
recover a card to hand.
He's not using the ability of Hogback, it seems, because the attack is going through. And now 4 done.
Now we get Perona coming down.
Two bodies on the board for Moria. Only, well, 5 cards now for the NAMI. So what are we looking for? We are at 7 done, so how good or bad is playing just an Odin, which can't be removed by Moria unless they swing almost all of their Dawn into it. Can imagine that is annoying, but maybe just not now. Maybe you value that Dawn on your leader so you can become a 7k leader in your opponent's turn as well. So it starts with a 5.
Okay, so 5k swing here from Puddin. I do think Odin being kind of protected from the usual tricks of Thriller Bark does become a very nice option, but you're right, sometimes you have to wait a little bit so you've got the resources available to actually use it. That swing went through. Moria goes down to 3 life remaining. Nojiko, unfortunately, is not going to be a particularly strong attacker, to put it mildly. We now do get 1 Don underneath the NAMI. So now you can swing, but you can also, you know, get ready for that leader skill next turn. And then we're going to have a bunch of Don being used, and it's going to be Jozu coming down. And I love this, because firstly, you get to bump one of your own cards to hand, and Nojiko is terrible on the board and amazing in your hand. And secondly, you get to bump one of your opponent's cards, which is going to be that useful Perona. So, classic example here of Jozu coming in clutch, because you want Nojiko in your hand, not on your board.
All these cards are really good into Moria, with Nojiko, with Jozu, bouncing all the threats on the board. And this means that the Moria just can't go white this game, because everything you play gets bounced or, well, not destroyed. Red Rocks are not really being played.
See, Tempest die, but again, that's just drawing a card.
Yep, not enough in trash, so it's just a draw.
Yep. A Tempest kick, draw 1 card. It's cycling through your deck. You're seeing more cards, but it's not getting you really any closer right now to where you need to be. So we are.
That I did see a Rebecca Hina Absalom combo to get rid of the Jozu.
That would be good, because that Jozu, you know, the play skill on the Jozu is amazing, but it is a decent body kind of sitting out there, putting on some pressure once it's on the board. It is a 7k, so getting rid of that would be a bit of an advantage. Looks like we're going to have a leader swing here with 2 Don. Presumably, there we go. There's the 2 Don being paid. There's a card being discarded. So leader skill being activated here. And we are trashing 2 of the big premium booster O2 Moria, which is actually kind of annoying because a lot of your recovery is recovering 4 cost, and that's a 6 cost.
It's probably one of your best cards that you are trashing this way. So maybe the Hina was in hand before the pudding, and that's why he was not able to do it. We do see it's not in the hand anymore. That was before the pudding, sadly.
Is recoverable, of course, with Rebecca. So we've not seen the last of it.
Wim taking his time.
He's going to be taking that life. Goes down to 2 life remaining, which lower than he got in the last game we watched, where he didn't. I believe he lost maybe 1 life in the course of the game.
Yeah, the only dangerous trigger here would be Red Rock, because that can, well, Red Rock and Okikunojo, I guess, but Red Rock to be able to bottom deck one of these 2 4-costs, that would be, would almost be a blowout for the Moria player.
Will be less than ideal. But does look like we're eyeing up that Perona.
Yep.
And here
Using
comes
Activate main.
Yep. Getting those cards back underneath the deck. Then we're getting that 2k bump from Perona onto Hogback. So we can have a bigger, fancier swing, 7k swing here into that leader. We are then using that leader skill. We're going to trash a card from our hand. We're going to go up to a 7k. Is the Kikinoju, I believe, that is being trashed. Then we see the Pudding coming out as well to counter out of it. Then we see a second Hogback coming down. We are using that skill. Looks like we are getting a Tempest kick, 2 Tempest kicks back to the bottom of the deck. And then, yeah, that Moria coming straight back out the trash.
Such a good card to have, and Hogback is getting it back from the trash. If you, by accident, I'm gonna name it, trash it from the top of your deck by your leader ability or other abilities. But I guess Nami feels quite okay at the moment in this matchup. Having access to this Jozu. We also still have a Nojiko in hand, don't forget. So we can probably get rid of the rested Hogback and bounce one of these two, probably the Perona, with Nojiko.
I mean, that would be quite nice. We've been playing Keep Away nicely as a Nami player. It's not a deck that goes super wide, but it is a deck that can ruin your day, frankly. We've seen it before. So the question is, are we going to be seeing it again here? We are going to have one Don on the Pudding. We're swinging it into leader, not into Hogback yet. And it looks like Tim is just going to be able to counter out of that one with that Rebecca. Now we see a Don on the Nami. Very important for having the leader skill next turn. And it seems like we're going to be swinging again into leader. And Tim is happy to just counter out of that one as well. Why not? You got a Victoria Sindri. It's a 2k counter. Let's do this.
Yes, trying to stay as healthy as possible, because if he doesn't counter one of these 5 or 6, and Jozu would decide to go face, then you're suddenly at 1 life. 1 life with cards like 8 cost kit and stuff like that. You're just so scared to go down in life very, very fast. So
saved them for now, but there's still some options. Now we are seeing a swing with Jozu from Wim here, and that is going to go again into the leader. That life is taken. Tim down to 2 life remaining here. We are even up. Speaking of the 8 cost kid, it comes down, immediately trashes a life, and then you get to the end of your turn, it looks like, because we are using that end of turn skill.
yes, probably getting rid of a card without counter at least, or a counter that he can't use, Slave Arrow. And yeah, suddenly it looks really good for you as Nami.
It really does. So now what can Tim do to kind of steady the ship, so to speak? You got some 5k bodies on the board, but they've not really done enough now. And you're staring down a Jozu and a kid, some big bodies over on Wim's side of the board. We're starting off with... Oh no, we are just having a fist pump there. Looks like Wim is going to be winning game 1. And Blue-Yellow Nami is 1 game away from making the final of the One Piece card game regionals here in Utrecht.
It is very good. Jozu is very good, so he decides to go first.
Yep, game 2, top 4, we're rolling. We have a Tempest kick coming down from Tim. We've seen a lot of them just literally playing it out, drawing a card, cycling through our deck to get to the cards we want a little bit more. Now we're over to Wim. We got 2 Don available, and it is Kozuki Hyori coming down here. Just kind of cycling that life. You pick one up, you put one down, and then, of course, your leader skill lets you draw another card, which is useful because you have to discard cards to use your other leader skill. So drawing's fun. It's going to get you where you need to go.
3 Don, and I don't see I saw any Perona, so this time no Perona on turn 1.
Ideal. We kind of like Perona on turn 1. We do see a swing with the leader. That gets countered away. We see Brook coming down, which doesn't really do very much. It makes Hyori up 1 cost and then can't KO it. And then we go over to Wim. But it is going to be there to combine with other stuff. Brook, because it's an on-play and when attacking skill, it's, you know, even if you don't get the value out of it when you play it, every turn you can attack and get it back. Here's 2 Don, is that 2 or 3? 2 Don onto the Nami, swings into GECO MORIA, takes the first life of the matchup, or of the, you know, game 2, I should say. And then we got 2 Don open. You've already got Don on your leader, which you need. Do we have anything else to do with those 2 Don?
Will we see a Nojiko pudding next turn? That's the real question now. If he can manage to do it again,
It worked well last time.
it worked very well the last time. So, yes,
Oh, here
using
comes the
Judon.
Nojiko this turn to get rid of Brook straight back to hand. And Brook got no value out of its on-play skill. Didn't get to attack, and then got bumped back to hand. So that free Don that Tim paid for Brook gave him absolutely nothing in the end. It's kind of putting him a turn back in terms of Don, which is not ideal. We are eyeing up a Hina in hand. There's nothing on the board right now which is desperate to get rid of, is there?
Not really. I do think you want to get cards out of your hand because of the pudding threat. So I wouldn't be even surprised if he will play Siberus and Ahina just to get rid of the cards in hand because he's scared of the pudding. And here you see another PRBO2 card, the new Boa Hancock.
Yes.
But yeah, seems
Oh,
like he
we see
doesn't
Brook.
need it this game.
Brook's back. Brook comes down, reduces the Nojiko, but again, it's a 2 cost, so you can't do much with it. And there's a card that hasn't hit the board yet. It is Cerberus. It's just a 2 cost 2k blocker, but we haven't actually seen it yet. And that is, if nothing else, it can just get rid of, you know, if a tentative swing comes out from a leader or whatever, Cerberus will be there to turn it away.
Yes, and now that we play 2 cards, let's see if he still wants to Nojiko pudding because I think the Moria has at 6 cards in hand, so with Nojiko potentially to 7. However, you can change a hand completely. But are you happy with that at this point? That is what Wim now is thinking about. He's just gonna swing a 5, meaning that I don't think we will see a pudding.
Ogback has been trashed from hand to counter that. The life will not be taken. You're stuck at 4. You do have that Cerberus there as a blocker if you need it. That's the
Jozu
thing
would
about
be
pudding,
really
though.
good.
Pardon?
Jozu would also be really good here for Wim.
Oh, Jozu would be fun. It's going to be Zeus, and that is going to get rid of the Brook. Yeah, Cerberus is a good dog, but it's not really representing as much of a threat as something like a Brook. So, oh, and then we got Marco coming down. That's a nice little blocker, one of those new cards from PRBO2. It's a blocker that draws 2 when you get KO'd, which as a blocker, you're going to get KO'd. So anytime you can get a blocker with a good on KO skill, I am a happy bunny.
Yeah, this is draw 2 cards. This is one of the best cards in the game, right? It's like 6k stats for 4 cost. Being a blocker and on KO draw 2 cards. It's an amazing card. It's very strong. It fits in almost every blue deck. Blue Nami OPO3 died for this. Well, more for the Otama from OP13, but also for this Marco. But
It was going to get
very,
bad.
very strong card.
Yeah, OPO3 Nami was going to become a bit of a problem with those new cards. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, that never happened. Hina now is going to drop Marco to a 0 cost. If there is a Brook, now might be a time. Oh, there is a Brook. Now might be the time. And Marco gets taken out straight away. And that means that that blocker... Now, it was... Is it a KO with Brook?
Yes.
Okay, it is a KO, so you do get to draw. Those on KO skills, remember, it doesn't matter how they're KO'd, but if a card is trashed, that is not a KO, and the on KO skills do not activate. That is a very important distinction.
If Brook would have been trash, oof, that would be
Would have been so much better.
insanely strong card. And he put the Red Rock himself there with the Hiyori, so he knew what would happen here. And getting rid of all the Brooks, he is scared of that Brook.
Don't blame him. Brooke, you know, doing that reduced one cost. But it's not even a reduced one cost. You've got plenty of reducing cost over on Tim's side of the board. It's having a card on the board which every turn can KO a card which has had its cost reduced enough. And then it's every turn getting a KO. That is what ends up being a problem. Now at least Tim has to search for the Absalom, search for the Brook, if he wants to get those KOs strung turn after turn. But that's why Wim is going after them pretty aggressively. And here we see a Kuma coming down. Don't think we've seen that played from Wim so far. But now we are recovering a life on play. And we are recovering a life on KO as well. And, you know, 7k body on the board, not too shabby.
Yes, also really relevant that the Kuma gets a +2 cost on his on play. So next turn the +2 is gone, but for now it's an 8 cost, and an 8 cost is really hard to deal with for Tim, especially if your trash is not filled up with cards for your Tempest kicks.
Absolutely. Going to be a pain to get rid of it this turn, put it that way. We are back over to Tim. We are back over to the Moria deck. Got some threats we want to try and take care of. We are one game down.
We have access to a 6-cost Moria. That's really good, I guess. But that would mean we can go fairly wide.
And if we want to, counting up those dons, separating it out, what are we going to be using it for? Right now, nothing. Okay, so 2 Don onto the Moria. We're going to swing. We using the leader skill? Doesn't look like we are. I've not seen a couple of Don be rested here. So it is just a 7k leader swing without trying to recover anything.
Yeah, just a 7k swing. That always ask at least 2 cards from your opponents if they want to use their ability. 2 cards. If they don't use their ability, still 2 cards. However, he is going to use, of course, his ability, trashing his second and last Boa Hancock.
There we see a card use, and then we've got the counter. We see a second healer, and that's going to put Kuma down to a 2 cost. That is prime Absalom.
Yeah, finger gun to get rid of the Kuma, and yeah, blue yellow Nami back at 4 life.
Absolutely, and to be fair, like I know you didn't get a swing with the Kuma, but you got 2 life out of a 6-cost card that you played, and your opponent had to use a bunch of resources to get rid of them. I am calling that a win.
Yeah, he's quite happy about it, I would say. And back at 4 life, so no stress of dying very soon. He can decide to play out one of his 8-cost kits, trashing a life from his opponent after swinging, I guess. But other than that, also the Hinos has been used, so 8 on left. So yeah, here it is.
That is the 8-cost kid. Trash is a card when it comes in. We saw it used to great effect in the previous game. We've had it coming in here again now. It gives you a bit of a draw engine. It trashes a life when it comes in. It's a 9k body on the board. Here we see those last 2 Dom being put under the leader Nami.
It also just guarantees the draw from your leader ability because you are getting rid of a life card from your opponent. So that's why he drew a card from leader ability, and then he drew a card from the end of turn effect from Kit, which also lets him trash 1 card. Draw 1, trash 1. But if your opponent starts trashing 2Ks, you know the Nami is far from that.
Yeah, sometimes you see your opponent trashing really good cards and you're like, oh no, if that's what they're getting rid of, I can only imagine quite how good their hand is. Doesn't always feel good. So, we're back over to Tim here. We're back over to the Moria player. 1 game down, 2 life down. Having a, just showing Wim what's in the trash at this point, because both players do need to be tracking that. And then we are... What are we doing?
I don't think that Tim has a very easy way to get rid of the 8-cost kit.
That's bad news. I'm going to be honest with you, Ruben. If he doesn't have a way to get rid of the 8-cost kid, that is not good news. Because that is going to help with consistency at the end of your turn. That is going to give you a big body to swing with. And, you know, you've only got 2 life remaining. So, you know,
Hmm.
between that and your leader, that alone is going to get you over the line in a couple of turns.
Using 6, that means, yeah, means the Moria.
It means the PRBO2 Warrior, which is going to bring a friend, and the friend it brings is going to be Perona. Now it looks like, are we putting the Don on the leader?
Yep, that's a rested Don from the 6-cost Moria effect.
Yes,
So we have
absolutely.
4 Don open. I don't think we can get rid of the kits. Definitely not now, because we summon the Perona.
This is where things start going bad. Like, you get these big things like the kid, and they're very much a case of when they hit the board, you need to get rid of them. And if you get rid of them straight away, you can go, okay, you know what, that's pretty cool. If you don't get rid of them straight away, things start going downhill very, very quickly. We do see the leader swing here from the GECO Moria, just a 6k swing. We're having a look at his hand, trying to figure out what he's going to get rid of. It feels like this is just getting...
And just using your leader ability nullifies the Hinas if your opponent wants to still play something for 4 Don. Tim can also decide to swing 2 7s with the Hina to let the Nami pinch some cards. However, we did see a Kuzan in hand, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just wants to play out the Kuzan instead of the... But he is using the Perona to boost one of his characters.
Absolutely. Put a couple of cards back on bottom of your deck. Give a 2k boost to one of your characters. I believe that's the Hina. We're then going to swing with the Hina with that fresh new 2k boost. And that is going to be taken as a life from Wim, going down to 3 life remaining. Still feels in control, but now we see... Blanking on the alternate. Oh, it is a Kazan. Of course it is a Kazan. Thank you.
Kit being able to untap. And I can imagine Wim wants to get rid of that Kuzan because -4 for an attack is really good. And if Kuzan lives, that might mean that your Kit won't, so...
Yeah, if it's them or me, I'm going to generally choose them. So, all right, so we need to find a way to get rid of that Kazan is what you're telling me. I am all right with that. The thing is, it is only a 4 cost. So there are options in the deck, things that we can do. You know, another Zeus coming down, for instance, could be fun.
Another Kumachi going back to 4.
When that goes away, then you could even actually end up higher than you even started the game. We do see a swing with the Nami, but it is countered away by Tim with a couple of cards there. We are now using Kid. We are swinging. The life is taken. And then you will get that end of turn ability to cycle through some cards as well. Tim really seems to be on the ropes here. Good news is they've got a nice wide board. Their Kazan has survived the turn. These are good things. Bad news is you got 1 life remaining and you are 1 game down. The Kazan has not survived the turn. Nojiko has come down and bounced it back to hand. And that was the last thing that Wim does on his turn. But that is not a good thing for Tim at all here.
Needs to trash 1 card from his 8-cost Kit, draw 1, trash 1 at the end of his turn. But bouncing that Kuzan is just so good. For a minute, I think Tim had some high hopes for a little, because we did counter with the other Nojiko the previous turn. But the third one was still in hand for Wim. So Wim
It felt like a minute. It felt for a minute like that Kazan was going to make it to the end of the turn. But unfortunately, that Nojiko bumping it right before we got there. Unfortunate, I think, would be a polite way to put it.
Wim
So
still
now,
having
Tim,
a lot of cards in hand, so he can defend his 9k Kit as well. It's really easy to defend his 9k Kit. He is at 4 life total. He is, he's feeling very good about this. It's looking very good as well. And looking at Tim's hand, okay, the Kuzan is not doing anything anymore. Hina -4 onto an 8k, 8 cost. You're still far away for popping it with Upsilon, especially without Tempest Kick. So...
So you need to find some way to get around this. There's some big threats on Wim's side of the board. You've only got 1 life remaining, and then 1 swing will get through to the end of the game. You've got that Kuma there, which could end up getting another life recovered if it gets KO'd, or sit there swinging for 6k plus if it doesn't get KO'd. Either way, it's not an ideal situation. And yeah, we're paying 3 Don here, and we are getting ourselves another Hina. Now there is -4 to the kid, so now we're rocking it as a 4 cost. We're not there yet.
Toy Soldier, so we can put it to 1, and then probably Upsilon, but that means the 2k out of hand.
Best alternate art from Premium Booster 01, just putting that out there while we got a second. Does
Definitely.
get rid, well, will allow us to get rid. The kid isn't gone yet, but of course, you can always use your GECO MORIA skill, and that is going to guarantee access to the Absalom. There is the Absalom. That is going to get rid of the kid. And yeah, you needed it off the board. It's off the board.
And that means that Wim probably has the game locked. We do know that there is 1 Kuzan in hand for Tim. So a 7-9k swing is enough to go to the finals. Only 2 cards. I think the game is locked.
I think you might be right. Certainly, if you see your opponent with 1 life, no blockers, 2 cards in hand, you know that, you know, in the absence of any other information, 2 big swings will probably get you through. So, yeah, I think I might agree with you here, Ruben. We just need some decent swings. Seems like we're using
7-9.
the leaders.
Not even that big, actually. 7-9 is enough. Because we do know that Kuzan is in the hand. That's the reason. He didn't trash Kuzan with his leader ability, because he didn't have any Upsilon in his trash. And so that's why he trashed Upsilon to play out Upsilon with his leader ability to KO the kid.
Oh, the kid is done. Here we go with a swing with Hina. And that is going to take it. We see a swing, another big swing with Hina. And the life is going to be taken. Problem with... Oh, and it is a Kikanoja there. We see another big swing with Moria, and that is counted out with Jozu. And now we pass over to Wim, and there is a very good chance this is the final turn of the game. There is a swing with Kuma. The life is taken. So we can see a... Okay, we're drawing a card. We're not there yet. I'm going too fast. All the Don on the Nami. There is the fist bump. And Wim with blue-yellow Nami will be headed to the final of the Utrecht One Piece card game regional championship. A deck we did not see coming.